So there's this Yoruba insult that they insult people. Ruth abokoku. If you like a man too much, that's what they will insult you with. But after reading the book of Ruth, I realized that that statement is not true. On today's episode of Read the Bible series, I want to talk about something very funny. Why do people always call Ruth abokoku? Because that is not true. That's not what the Bible explained. If you want to insult somebody that loves a man too much, or that is man-centered, you call her Ruth abokoku. Why? People just made me feel like Ruth. Okay, what happened to Ruth? Ruth was the daughter-in-law of Naomi, and Naomi left her hometown because of famine. She left with her family, her husband, and her two sons to another place. And when they got to the other place, her husband died and her two sons died. Now she's left with two daughter-in-laws. So Naomi decided to return back to her hometown since she has lost everything. Her two daughter-in-laws insisted that they wanted to follow her. And I was wondering, she must have been a good mother-in-law for them to really want to be with her. She must have been a wonderful person. So that aside. Now, she insisted that no, they don't follow her. That no, they should go back. They're still young because her womb cannot, even if she gives birth right now, they can't marry. They can't wait until that child grows up before they, become the wife of the child. So she advised them to go back to their own country. And Ruth was like, no. The other lady kissed her mother-in-law and left. But Ruth was like, I want to be with you. You're my family now. You're my this. And that is where the Ruth Abokoko came from. She followed her mother-in-law, not a man. So let me just continue. And let's think about it in the aspect of this Boaz aspect. I used to believe that Ruth actually seduced Boaz. Not until when I was reading the book of Ruth again, because I read it over and over and again. But this time I read it with something that struck in me, and it made me realize that because when Naomi told Ruth that, oh, go to meet Boaz in the midnight, like when he has finished drinking and everything, and he's full of joy, and just sleep by his feet. Make sure you bath, smell nice, and you sleep at his feet. And I was like, I used to believe that was seduction. But while I did my research and I realized that sleeping at a man's feet means you're asking him to protect you. It means that you're asking for his protection, you're asking for him to be your guide, like to cover you. So that was what we did. He removed the wrapper from his feet and slept right. So I was like, why didn't I remove the wrapper from the feet? But I later found out that he removing the wrapper will make him wake up sooner. So I wake up because if you're sleeping too and your wrapper is not and you're not well covered, sometimes you just check up and try to cover up. So that's the supposed explanation for it. And the book of Ruth is just 4 chapters, and I learned a lot from it. So as I was saying, the other aspect I also want to consider was then Boaz woke up in the midnight and was like, oh, who is this? Who are you? And she was like, oh, it's your servant Ruth. Yeah, please, I need coffee. The Ruth Boaz now told him that, you know what, it's okay, just sleep back. So early in the morning, Ruth stood up before it was morning. Boaz, she gave her something that she took back to her mother-in-law, like, take. And I'm wondering, but the truth is that I feel like Boaz actually had interest in Ruth since the first day he has set his eyes on her and heard about her. Because the first day he set his eyes on her when she came to gather some, wheat in his farmland, and he was like, oh, I just want to gather something small so I can eat, and my mother-in-law will eat. So now Boaz was like, oh, okay, then welcome. I've heard about you. I've heard about how you insisted on being loyal to your mother-in-law, how you followed her here. Then, after Ruth left, Boaz now called the servant, come, that girl, whatever she's gathering, don't stop her. Whatever she takes, even if she takes the original things from this place, let her take it. Don't embarrass her. Like, allow her to be with my girls that are working. You get? So I feel like Boaz has always loved Ruth. Yeah. Now, fast forward, let me continue. So the aspect where after Ruth did that and then slept like at his feet and got up early the next day before everybody would see them, Boaz still told the servants, don't tell anybody what happened. So honestly, I used to believe that scene was being seduced and they probably had something that night, even though the Bible did not mention that. It felt so weird and secretive. But now reading it and asking a lot of questions, doing a lot of research, and trying to, I realized that, because the next day, Boaz immediately went to the elders. He immediately did the right thing. He didn't just tell her that, oh, yeah, come, let me sleep with you or anything. He went through the right process and, he went to the elders of the land. After going to the elders of the land, that time is that if you want to redeem a man's house, like you want to redeem his family, you have to, buy his land so that his name will remain forever. By doing that, you have to also marry his wife. So that's the whole process. But there was somebody next in line that could actually redeem the house of Elimelech, the house of Naomi's husband's household. There was somebody that could actually redeem it first before it comes to Boaz. But Boaz went to go and meet that person and also called elders of the land that they should be witness. He asked the person, do you wish to redeem the land of so person? And that was like, oh, there's nothing that I would redeem it now. So Boaz was like, if you redeem, that means that you have to get married too. You have to also redeem the wife. You have to also marry the wife so that the person's generation can continue. The person was like, I don't want. Then Boaz, okay, let me step in. I'm going to do that. So he redeemed. And meanwhile, when you redeem the wife of a dead man, so that their generation can continue, it means that the first son that comes out of that woman will be a generation to that person that you redeemed, generation to the family of to that family that you redeemed. So that's why when they gave birth to his son, the first son, Obed, when they gave birth to Obed, they gave Obed to Naomi, because now that is for Naomi. That is our generation that is continuing. That is our generation now. It's so funny. Jesus came from David. David came from Jesse. Jesse came from Obed. So Ruth, a widow, was part of generation of those that birthed Jesus. So when we're talking about the book of Ruth, she was a woman of loyalty, not to her, well, maybe to her husband. But I don't know why people keep insulting Ruth Abokoku. Why? Why are you calling her Abokoku? Actually, I'm saying this because my name is Ruth. So that's it for today's episode.